Hi. Do you feel like you should improve your positional understanding? Do you feel like despite solving so many tactical puzzles, your chess doesn't improve? Do you feel like you don't know how to play simple but effective chess? And you don't know what to do when there's nothing to do? You're in the right place because today we are starting a new series on positional chess understanding and chess strategy. The first topic will be about weaknesses in chess. Take a look at this position and can you identify instantly where the weaknesses lie in the position? Weaknesses are very important because they give us roadmaps. They give us ideas for plan making in chess. Check this out. This pawn is a backward pawn on d2. No other pawn can defend it and can be attacked on the d file. That's why this pawn is a backward pawn and a weak pawn. What else? Weak square on d3. No white pawn can defend this square. This square is weak. Also, the square d4. No white pawn can defend that square. Hence, that square is weak. You should be able to identify these things very, very quickly to play good positional chess. How about this pawn on a3, right? No other white pawn can defend that pawn. Thus, it's another weakness in the position. And if you contrast this with the black pieces and black pawns, we have no clear weaknesses in our position because every pawn can be protected by another pawn and no pawns can be attacked directly by the white rook in this position. Hence, black is strategically and positionally better in this position. And tell me, please, what should black do, folks? Create a plan for black. Yes, indeed, rook d8, activating the rook and attacking that weakness. After rook d1, what should we do? Tell me. Bam, rook d3, attacking another weakness on a3. Notice how we are forming plans around the weaknesses. After a4, tell me, what should we do? Rook b3, hitting another weakness, forcing b5, and the next move. Rook b4, attacking both of these weaknesses, weak pawns, and black wins a pawn by force, achieves a winning advantage. Secret number 2. A weakness is only a weakness if it can be exploited. If the enemy cannot exploit your weakness, then it's not a weakness anymore. This is very important. In this position, white takes on a5. Please tell me the right recapture for black, folks. Yes, the right recapture is rook takes e5 because this way white's e4 pawn, which is a backward and weak pawn, can be exploited by the black pieces on the open e-file. Black achieves a winning position after, let's say, rook e2, f5. The pawn is pinned. You put so much pressure on that pawn and black wins a pawn by force. If in this position after queen takes e5, if you take back with the f-pawn, then white achieves equality in this endgame. Because yes, white still has those weaknesses in the position, but how can black exploit that? There's only a knight left in the position, and it's not going to be so easy for black to put pressure on those weaknesses because you see the king has no invasion square, for example, in this position, right? So despite having a better structure, black cannot win this position. Going back, after queen takes e5, rook takes e5, all these weaknesses will be clear targets for us and we can exploit them, right? So even when it comes to simple exchanges, recaptures, you should always have this weakness in mind. That's the bottom line here. You should always look at these long-term factors in the position because pawn structure is usually stable. They will remain like that for a long time. Okay? Let's have a look at another position. Let's say in this position, white takes on e5. Please tell me, how should black recapture? And there are never automatic moves in chess. Never make an automatic move. Always consider all the options whenever you have choices. Congratulations if you found d takes e5. Many beginners would never even consider this move because, hey, oh, double pawns. I hate double pawns. I don't want to have them, right? This shallow mindset sometimes can prevent people to look deeper. Why is this a better move? Much better move for black? Well, you tell me, because this way, this d3 weakness is exploited. It becomes much easier for black to exploit that backward pawn on d3. Isn't it beautiful, folks? That's a secret of playing positional chess, right? Noticing the weaknesses and creating conditions to make the enemy weaknesses more exploitable, right? That's how we make simple and effective positional decisions in chess. If you recapture with the knight, by the way, in this position, then not only this pawn is weak anymore, but actually allow white to play d4, gain control of the center, chase away your knight, and white has no problems whatsoever, right? There's actually a big difference between d takes and knight takes, and strong players also never miss such chances in changing the pawn structure to have long-term targets in the enemy position. Okay, one more position, folks. Pawn recapture and weaknesses. It's a very nice game of both winning with white pieces. So please stop the video and tell me whether white should recapture this knight with the c pawn or the e pawn. Very important question. But what's the game changer? What's the decider here? That's my question. Congratulations. If you found Botvinnik's move e takes d5, and can you tell me why, folks? I'm very much into the why question here. Why is e takes d5 much better than c takes d5? Talking about long-term factors, right? This e7 pawn now has become a backward pawn on an open file, right? Semi-open file. White just recaptured the e pawn, created the conditions for rook e1, followed by doubling up or even tripling on the e file later on, and put pressure on that e7 backward pawn, which has now become a weakness because it can be exploited, right? Beautiful, simple chess. If you follow this game like shallowly, it just looks like, okay, what's the big deal? You don't understand the strength of this move, but this, there lies the depth of chess strategy. Simple, not so complex actually, but difficult, right? Because many people miss such chances, but actually the underlying idea is very simple. You simply want to orient yourself or create weaknesses and targets for you to make plans, because chess is a very complex game, right? We are not machines. We cannot just brute force calculate everything. So we need those mental models like shortcuts, and weakness awareness is going to give you that shortcut, folks. Never forget that. This is the function of this training, that we want to be effective decision makers, that we want to actually speed up this decision-making process by using good rule of thumbs. And weaknesses will definitely help you in this endeavor, folks. In the end, of course, yeah, Botvinnik actually takes with the d pawn, let's say queen takes, and you can already understand, right, in the structure, white will put tremendous pressure on that e7 weakness. Black can never really push the pawn. First of all, it will open up my bishop, right? Second of all, that push of the e pawn will create another weakness, the pawn on d6. So black is long-term busted in this position, really have low prospects, and it's only a one-sided game for white, right? It all comes about from this e takes d5 moment. By the way, it's a very typical idea in the Maroczy bind pawn structure, right? This is Maroczy bind, pawns on c4 and e4. So it's a very typical Maroczy idea to take back with e pawn. Never forget this. Another idea, another position, folks. Great Alekin get this position with white pieces. The question is, should we take with the e pawn or with the bishop in this position? And I guess this became easier for you after the last example, right? E takes f3 is the best because white will put pressure on the back with pawn on e7. He will go f4 later on to open up the bishop, because that bishop actually will prophylactically stop moves like e6 or c6, and white is a bishop pair, and white achieves a long-term grind in this position, especially against the backward pawn on e7. Okay? Now, so far, we've seen motifs, pawn play, recaptures, to make enemy weaknesses more exploitable. But sometimes the enemy doesn't give us a weakness. You have to create one, right? And this is a beautiful position for that, folks. Please, it's white to move. Stop the video and find a good plan for white. See the board for potential targets and try to create a target or weakness for your pieces. Congratulations if you found the move a4, the minority attack. White only has a single pawn on the queen side versus, let's say, two pawns here. But by pushing the pawn to a4 and, of course, a5, white will eventually create a target in the black's camp. And this is the simple beauty of the minority attack. You can transfer this idea to different structures, right? It's actually a transferable skill for you. Once you identify, understand why minority attack is so strong, you can apply it in different domains and structures. After a4, let's say queen g6, a5, black is really busted because, first of all, white is a long-term advantage, the protected pass pawn on e6, and now white is creating a second front on the queen side and giving tasks to their pieces, right? Eventually, there will be weakness either on b6 or on a7, and white will put pressure. Then white pieces, they will know what to do in this position, and that's exactly how you form plans in chess, right? Plans and weaknesses, they are synonymous actually. They almost like, once you have a weakness, then you have a plan in chess. So this is the final point why we should have this training. And puzzle books don't give you this, folks, right? If you go to a normal tactical puzzle book, you don't see these type of exercises. But real chess works like this. Real chess games definitely work like this. So you need these skills. That's exactly why, that's the reason why I started this series on YouTube, because I really want to teach you everything that you cannot find on those tactical puzzle books, folks. Okay? What else? What else? Fixing a weakness. It's black to play in this position. Please take your time and find a good plan for black. Congratulations if you found the move a5. By playing a5, black is fixing a weakness on a4. And can you see the plan? Please stop the video and tell me the next couple of moves for black. Yes, you guessed it right. Knight c8 to b6, and this knight will eventually take that pawn on a4. Isn't it beautiful? That's a famous game of Timon, by the way, with the black pieces. Timon sees the pawn on a4, fixes it first, and then orients the knight to capture that weakness, right? So far, we looked at creating a weakness, and now we see how to fix a weakness. Now, before I close up this video, there will be more in this series, by the way. This is just the beginning, folks. And if you like what you've seen so far, please give me a like so we can reach more people. This will be your homework until next time. This is one of my own games with white pieces. I was very proud of this game, actually. So it's white to play. I want you to just apply what you learned today and formulate a plan for white, okay? How would you treat this position with the white pieces? Take your time, give yourself maybe minimum 5 minutes really to go deeply in this position, because it also involves some calculation, right? But it's exactly how real chess looks like. That's how you are supposed to be doing in real games. Go deep, try to formulate a plan around the weaknesses, please. Tell me what you're seeing, and then in the next video, I'm gonna start from this position and I will tell you how exactly I played. I hope you liked what you've seen. If you want to see similar content, you can check my Chessable courses on strategy and positional chess, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye, folks.